Well, here we are, back in your feed like an old friend. Hopefully an old friend you want to see, not an old friend that you duck into a different aisle in the grocery store. Anyway, we've got a full weekend of activities planned, so let's get started. Oh, the poor excavator shelter. I'd say it was an overachiever. Definitely lasted longer than I thought it would.
Getting hot. I didn't detail that because that's just gonna get dirty.
The seats look really nice. So does the dash. It looks way cleaner. Good job. All right, let me show you guys the next thing I want to work on. Mice have chewed a hole through some wires in the excavator. We used this peppermint spray after the last time we had some mice issues. We got tons of recommendations, so we're probably gonna, oops, a lot of sun there. We're gonna work our way through those recommendations and see what works, but I'm gonna see if I can fix this here. I don't know exactly what the wires do, but they're color coded and I can connect wires, so we'll see if we can fix this. Let's see if this shows up. All right, so we got 5 wires coming out of here, and this was a head scratcher. I got a yellow, a green, and a black, and I wasn't sure where they went until I looked at this for a long time and saw that down here there's some stubs, and I think if I take this all apart I can see the colors. And then obviously these two are still connected, so I know where those go, so I can fix those two, this red and the yellow here. Alright, well I got those wires connected. I don't know what that thing does. It looks like it goes to the radiator, but it also could be the reverse alarm. I'll feel kind of like I wasted time if it's the reverse alarm. I suppose I could look it up in my manual, but let's see if this thing starts now. Alright, that's run for about a half hour. I got it about as level as I can on this property there isn't a flat square inch, so I'm gonna change the oil and the oil filter and basically do one of the services. Sarah and Beatrice are burning. Got my service kit here, print off of my manual. I need more leverage. I can't get that. Took me so long to get that last bolt. I think I gotta restart and heat up the oil again. I had to heat it. Ugh, what a pain. Alright, I got that done. The manual says it takes 3.6 quarts and you're supposed to put it in and then idle it and then check the level, so I'm going to do that now. Well, it looks like it's right in the middle of the two lines. I gotta see if I can get these off without a tool. Alright, well, I don't have the tool to get this or this off, so I think one's water separator and one's fuel filter. If anyone knows what that's called, just let me know and I can go buy it. Alright, well, I'm glad to have that done. That's been kind of stressing me out. I haven't exceeded the hours, but the time interval is way overdue, so I'm just glad to have that done. It's kind of funny sometimes, you know, when we get our stuff, we're so excited, and then we get to the point where it just stresses us out. So there's something to be said for not having too much stuff. Sit together.
Dream has been. Oh yeah. Oh. I'll see you tomorrow.
Alright, so the next thing I want to do, when we first wired this up for solar, I put a charger and all the wiring to be able to run this cabin off a generator and charge the batteries. But I never hooked it up because we've never got the battery status below 90%. But Sarah's brother and her dad came in here in the middle of the summer and they ran the mini split a lot and got it down to 40% before they kind of just said like they better not go any lower, even though they could have. He asked if I could finish that wiring, so I want to do that so that people can come down here and use the AC a little bit more if they bring a generator. Alright, so I bought this generator receptacle at Menards, and it came with a 240 volt plug, but I took it out and put a 30 amp 120 because my generator can do 240 but my brother-in-law's cannot. So with this we can use everyone's generator, and basically, you know, you have a recessed receptacle so you don't have to make a suicide cord, and this just goes in there. This goes to the generator. And I ran this wire here over to the front of the cabin. It appears to be a yellow 20 amp, but it's not. It is actually a faded 30 amp wire. Generator plug. Alright, just because people question barely go. Won't even go into the 10 gauge, but goes into the 8 pretty easily. Ground's gonna go right here. Alright, there's that ground attached. Too hard to film and do that with everything. It's plugged in and you twist it and it can't pull out. So this is that wire that comes in right here. You can see it actually is orange. It looks completely yellow outside just because it's faded. So I've got all my neutrals all bonded here. I've got the hot comes in, goes through a 30 amp breaker, and then I've got jumpered over here. So the one 30 amp wire goes up to the inverter, which can take 30 amps, and pass them through to all my AC circuits. And then we've got the other is jumpered over here, goes through a 20 amp breaker, which you're not going to be able to read because it's not got white on it, but it's 20 amp square D QO breaker. It's backfed, so I don't know of any electricians out there if you can. I think you can backfeed these, but I'm sure there's electricians that know better. Goes down to this 20 amp to the plug, which when you plug it in, powers the battery charger. So we should be able to do both. We should be able to power the charger, because the charger, technically, I don't think it, what's it say? It's 1360 watts, so it's not going to use all that power. It's not going to use all 20 amps. And if we're running stuff, we're probably not going to be using a ton of power as well, so we'll see. Well, the last time I was here filming, I was training for 2 bike races, so I want to follow up on those just for the sake of closing storylines. The first race, the Mohican 100, I got 24th out of around 200. And the second race, the Black Fork Gravel Grinder, I got 29th out of 231. Which those were kind of mediocre results for me based on what I'm capable of, but in hindsight I was not quite prepared for them. I had knee surgery in November and it took me a couple months to recover from that. But I've got another race tomorrow that I can go to from the cabin, so hopefully I'll do a little bit better then, and I'll follow up on that with you guys. Well, the race today was a bit of a mixed bag. From a physical standpoint, it went really well. I was much more prepared for it. I was able to ride strong all the way through it. Mechanically, it was a bit of a disaster. I dropped my chain, I went off course twice, and I crashed. But I was able to win my age group, so that was good. However, age group's not really what I'm gunning for. I'm kind of focused more on the overall. And I got 11th out of 90 something, which was a good result, but enough to keep me motivated through the winter. So, all right, now that that's done, the next thing I want to work on is the trim in the bathroom. The last time I was actually working on the cabin, I think I was putting up cedar there, and Sarah and I were staining it. That was a while ago. So I'm going to get back to that room and hopefully get that bathroom done, and then after that, we'll work on the loft railing in the loft, and then we will probably do something to trim out just the top of the walls, and after that the cabin will basically be done. Alright, so I've got this beautiful spalted poplar. It's left over, believe it or not, it's from the same poplar that I bought to do the skirt on the outside of the cabin. And I've been thinking I was going to do something cool with it, and it's just sat there and sat there, so I finally decided to mill it into trim, and it's just so cool. So I'm going to put that up now. This cedar is 3/4 material, and this drywall is 1/2 inch, so I've had to mill out a 1/4 inch, actually a little bit more just to be safe, of this poplar so that it'll fit right here. Forgot to cut this shim. So that actually looks really nice, the poplar and the hackberry. And then the door is hackberry, and so is the fillet frieze and cap. That's the 3 pieces up here. And you can see the difference. This is finished, the top piece, the fillet frieze and cap, is finished with water-based. And the bottom, the door itself, is finished with oil-based, and it's a little bit yellower. The upper is a little bit whiter. Alright, so I've also made the trim for this window out of walnut. It's just leftover walnut that I had. Didn't have enough to make all the trim in this room out of the same wood, so I had to use all different things. I'm going to shut this shade so the camera will be able to focus on the trim. Now this board had a big imperfection right here. Rather than waste it, I'm just going to put it so that it faces the inside corner and it'll never show. Nobody will know it's there except for you and me. Yeah.
Can you tell me when you're about done?
For this part, I like to use this kind of leftover crappy wood. Sometimes you can get it at a discount because nobody wants to buy this because you can't get a full piece of trim out of it. And a lot of times it's got nice spalting in it too, so for a rustic cabin I think it looks perfect. All right, well, I'd say this has been a productive trip. Let's take a look at what we got done. So I just love this spalted poplar. I think it's so pretty. And then I've got this nice crotch, that's what this is called, where two branches meet in a tree. I think that looks really cool up there. And anyway, I'm happy with how this came out. Bike race was a success, so all in all, a good trip, and looking forward to getting into a rhythm of making videos again, and hopefully seeing you all soon.